In today's video, we'll be taking a deep dive into why the BMW M3 CS is the best M car to date. That's right, we're diving deep into the all-new, insanely powerful, and some might even say ridiculously priced, BMW M3 CS. Now, the M3 has always been a legend. It's a car that gets enthusiasts' hearts racing. But this CS model, this might just be something special. We're talking about the fastest, most powerful M3 ever made. We're talking about a machine that blurs the lines between a luxury sedan and a track monster. But the question is it really the best M car to date? Is it all hype, or does the M3 CS truly live up to the legend? We're about to find out. In this video, we'll be dissecting everything that makes this car so special, from its earth-shattering power to its surprisingly practical interior. Yes, you heard that right. Alright, so we mentioned this M3 CS is a game changer, but buckle up because here's why. BMW threw out all the stops with this one. Get this. The M3 CS is the fastest, most powerful and most capable M3 ever. Not since the original legend rolled off the production line in 1986 has a stock M3 come close to this kind of raw power. That's 38 years of M3 history, folks. And the CS blows them all out of the water. Now, some might say big deal, but trust me, it is. This isn't just a minor upgrade. We're talking about a whole new level of performance. BMW's engineers basically took the already impressive M3 competition and cranked everything up to 11. So what exactly does that mean? Well, for starters, the CS boasts a seriously juiced up engine. We're talking a twin-turbo inline 6 that puts out a whopping 405 kilodollar. That translates to a gut-punching 542 horsepower, ready to launch you from 0 to 100 clicks in a mind-bending 3.4 seconds. Seriously, this thing is a rocket on wheels. But it's not just about straight-line speed. The CS corners like a dream thanks to a bunch of weight-saving measures and a specially tuned suspension. They even threw in some all-wheel drive action for those who want to push this beast to its limits on the track, with the option to switch to rear-wheel drive for the purists out there. Let's face it, some folks might not be fans of the new M3's front grille, but let's be honest, when a car performs like this, who cares what the front end looks like, right? This M3 CS is all about pure, unadulterated driving pleasure. Alright, hold on to your helmets, because this M3 CS isn't just about mind-blowing power. It's got racing heritage coursing through its veins. The CS in its name actually stands for Coupe Sport Lightweight, and it has a lineage that stretches all the way back to the legendary 1973 3.0 CSL. Also known as the Batmobile. This iconic beast dominated the European Touring Car Championship, winning its first race in 1973, and then going on a 5-year championship streak. Racing legends like Hans-Joachim Stuck, Chris Amon, and even Niki Lauda got behind the wheel of that car. Pretty impressive company, right? Ever since then, the CS badge has been BMW's way of marking their most potent street-legal machines. In fact, another CS car, the 635 CSI, even took home the Australian Touring Car Championship in 1985, with Jim Richards at the helm. So when you see that CS badge on this M3, you know you're not just looking at a fast car, you're looking at a descendant of champions. That racing pedigree adds a whole new layer of excitement to this already incredible package. Let's dive deeper into the heart of this beast, the engine. The M3 CS boasts the most powerful version yet of BMW's legendary S58 twin-turbo inline 6. Imagine a symphony of power under the hood, just waiting to be unleashed, and the engineers basically turned up the volume on everything, squeezing out an extra 30 kilowatts of pure muscle, bringing the total output to a mind-blowing 405 kilowatts. That translates to a staggering 542 horsepower. Now, all that power is pointless if you can't control it, but fear not. The CS comes equipped with an 8-speed automatic transmission that shifts like a dream, and an all-wheel drive system that keeps you glued to the road. And for the true driving purists out there, don't worry, you can switch that all-wheel drive over to rear-wheel drive for a more classic M-car experience. Plus, they've thrown in BMW's incredible active M-locking rear differential, which basically makes cornering feel like child's play. And now all this amazing tech doesn't come without a price, literally and figuratively. BMW has shaved off a bit of weight by using fancy materials like carbon fiber for the bumpers and a titanium muffler. But the overall weight difference isn't massive. However, if you're chasing peak performance, there's an optional carbon ceramic brake package that can shed a further 20 kilograms. That might be a hefty upgrade cost, but when you're talking about shaving off unsprung weight, trust me, it makes a world of difference in handling. But let's be honest, the true test of any car is how it handles. Buckle up, because the M3 CS is a grip monster. This thing corners like it's on rails thanks in part to those super sticky Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires. The more you push it, the more they seem to dig in and hold on. It's almost like defying physics. And let's not forget the soundtrack. The twin-turbo 6-cylinder engine lets out a satisfying snarl as you accelerate, with some playful pops and crackles on the overrun that will put a smile on any gearhead's face. Now, the all-wheel drive system deserves a shout-out too. It basically gives you 3 different driving experiences. There's the standard all-wheel drive mode for maximum traction, a special 4WD Sport mode that gives you a rear-wheel drive feel with some extra grip for those tricky corners, and then there's the full-on rear-wheel drive mode with all the electronic nannies off. That last one is definitely for experienced drivers only. This much power going to just the rear wheels is not for the faint of heart, but amazingly, even with all this hardcore performance, the M3 CS isn't a total backbreaker. Pop it into comfort mode, and it actually becomes surprisingly comfortable for everyday driving. So, you can take it to the track and carve up some corners and then take it on your daily commute without feeling like you're being pummeled by the suspension. That versatility is pretty darn impressive. Where would you take this ultimate M machine for a spin? Well, for me, there's one track that instantly comes to mind. Mount Panorama, Bathurst. Imagine launching out of corners like the cutting with that all-wheel drive system clawing for grip. And then picture yourself unleashing all 405 kilodolars of power down Conrod Straight. Pure adrenaline rush. The massive stopping power of those optional carbon ceramic brakes would be put to the ultimate test on the big stops into the Chase and the end of Mountain Straight. It would be a match made in driving heaven. Alright, so we've peeled back the layers on the M3 CS's performance and heritage, but let's not forget the place where you'll be spending most of your time, the interior. Now, this isn't your grandma's luxury sedan. The M3 CS is all about driver focus. The Alcantara steering wheel feels like something out of a race car, and the whole cabin is decked out in carbon fiber and red stitching. BMW even throws in their top-of-the-line merino leather for that extra touch of luxury. Technology-wise, you're covered. There's a massive curved dashboard screen with a giant digital instrument cluster and a high-resolution infotainment touchscreen. Pretty swanky, right? And for that authentic race car feel, they've included ultra-thin carbon fiber shift paddles and a special center console made entirely of carbon fiber. Just keep in mind, with that center console, they ditch the rear air vents so your backseat passengers might get a little toasty. Speaking of backseats, thankfully they haven't gone full racing stripes and replaced the doors with pull straps. There are actual door handles. But let's be honest, in a car like this, the front seats are the real stars. BMW equipped the M3 CS with their M-Carbon bucket seats, and let me tell you, they're serious business. They're super supportive and hug you in like a second skin, perfect for holding you steady on those high-speed corners. The only downside, they might be a bit too snug for some folks, especially those who like a little more wiggle room. Now remember, this is still a practical car at its core. Being based on the 3 Series, it offers surprising space in the back for passengers, and the trunk is nice and big too. So you can take your gear to the track and still have room for your friends, assuming they can squeeze into those back seats. But all this amazingness comes at a cost, and the M3 CS definitely doesn't come cheap. We're talking a starting price of $249,900 before on-road costs. That's a hefty jump compared to the standard M3 competition, and if you want those fancy carbon ceramic brakes, that'll set you back another $16,500. So, yeah, this is definitely a car for the serious driving enthusiast with very deep pockets. Alright, the question you're all probably wondering now is, would I buy one? Let's be honest, $250,000 is a serious chunk of change, especially for a car based on the 3 Series. But here's the thing, this isn't just any 3 Series. This is the most incredible M car ever built. It's a driving experience unlike anything else, trust me. Getting behind the wheel of this beast is something you'll never forget. Here's the thing, M3s have always been known for their performance, but sometimes they could feel a bit intimidating. This M3 CS is different. It's still blisteringly fast, don't get me wrong, but it's also surprisingly fun and friendly to drive. A big part of that credit goes to the new all-wheel drive system. It gives you that extra confidence to push the car to its limits, knowing it's got your back, or either all 4 wheels, on those twisty corners. Before this G80 generation, rear-wheel drive M3s were starting to get a bit too powerful for their own good. The all-wheel drive is a welcome addition, but if you're thinking about getting your hands on an M3 CS, you better act fast. There are only reportedly a few still up for grabs, So if you're a die-hard BMW enthusiast with a taste for the extraordinary and a hefty bank account, this might just be your dream car. Alright folks, that's a wrap on the mighty M3 CS. We dove deep into its earth-shattering power, its connection to racing royalty, and the luxurious yet surprisingly practical interior. This isn't just a car, it's a driving experience that will leave you breathless, but one thing is for sure, this M3 CS is a game changer. It's the fastest, most powerful and most exhilarating M car ever built. So is it the best M car to date? Well, let's just say it's definitely earned a spot at the very top of the podium. But hey, that's just my opinion. What do you think?